So hello students. So in the last class we have completed about the operation on a signal. That is, you have studied about the time scaling, time shifting. Then you have studied time reversal. After that we study about scalar multiplication. So these are the few operations we have discussed. So in this class we will study about the discrete time system. So first we study a signal, then we will study about the system, and we need a system to produce output. So first of all, this is the definition of a discrete time system. So discrete time system is a device or an algorithm that operates on discrete time signal xn according to some well defined rule to produce another discrete time signal called output signal yn. So let us now analyze it mathematically, then we will understand it in a better way, the definition. So we have a discrete time system. This can be a digital or discrete time device or an algorithm, and we are providing certain input. So you all know the input in general we denoted it as xn, and this is your input, or it also known as excitation. It is also known as excitation. Then after certain operation, this system performs certain operation by using some predefined rule on this signal xn, and it produces the output that is denoted as yn. The output is denoted as yn. You can write it in small. The output is denoted as yn. This is known as your output or response. So input, otherwise it is called as excitation. Output, we can also the output is also known as your response. This is a discrete time system, hence it always operates on a discrete time signal and it provides output that is also a discrete time signal. So what type of this system is? The system can be a filter. This can be a filter. So you all know what is the working of a filter. Filter is a frequency selective circuit which passes certain range of frequency and attenuates all other range of frequency. So obviously we can design a digital system filter. For example, you want to pass a certain range of frequency, you want to allow certain range of frequency, then we need a filter. Then this system also can be a amplifier. So we all know what is the working principle amplifier and what is the application of an amplifier. So amplifier is required to increase the strength of the signal. So obviously, suppose input we are providing certain input signal, this amplifier obviously produce the output with a gain. So these are the few examples of a system. So this system always going to this is discrete time system. Why? Because we are applying discrete time signal and we are getting discrete time output. So this input, always remember, input can also be known as your excitation or output known as your, otherwise known as your response. So that's it. Then we will classify the discrete time system depending on the so what are the different types of discrete time systems available, that we will discuss now. So according to different characteristics, we classify the discrete time system into 6 types. So that I have written here, so we can note it down. So these are this is very important topic. In general, in theoretical question also, and in most of the 2 and 5 marks question, they will ask you about the small definition of these systems, and in mathematics also they will give you to analyze whether the system is causal or non-causal, verify whether the system is time invariant and time variant. That type of question they will ask you. So please pay attention to this. This is very important chapter. So classification of discrete time system. So depending on the properties and application and characteristics of discrete time system, we classify discrete time system into 6 categories. The first one is your static and dynamic system, that we will study one by one. Then we have causal and non-causal system. Then we have linear and non-linear system. Then you have time invariant and time variant system. Then you have stable and unstable system, and finally we have FIR and IIR, that means finite impulse response and infinite impulse response system. So this is very important classification. So let's discuss one by one about this system. So the first system we will discuss, that is your static and dynamic system. So here I have written the definition of static, or this system is also known as memoryless. So the moment I said memoryless means, here how we will classify the system is a static or memoryless system, that I have written here. So discrete time system is called static or memoryless if its output, that means Yn. Output, always I have just now defined a system. Output is denoted as Yn and input is denoted as Xn. So output at any instant n, n means here time, discrete time always denoted by n, you all studied, and this is always an integer. So at any instant n depends on the input samples at same time. Output depends on the input sample at same time. For example, y of 1 depends, y of 1 means y at 1 depends on x at 1 only. So just like input samples at same time, but not on the past or future samples of the input. So just now I have read the definition. So a discrete time system is called static or memoryless if its output at any instant n depends on the input samples at same time, but not on the past or future samples. That means output depends on the present at same instant, only depends on the present input, but not on the past and future input or past or future samples. That we will define it mathematically. So mathematically, or example, I am going to give you one example of this type of system and how to check that I also explain you. So this type of system, for example of this type of system, Yn is equal to, suppose some constant multiplied a and xn. So this is the example of a static or memoryless system. Then how to check? So at just now in the definition I have explained you that at any instant of time output depends on the input only at that same instant only. That is, if I put y of 0, just now you can see y of 0 depends only on, suppose n, in place of n I put 0, that means y at time 0 depends on x also at time 0. So this type of system, y at time 0 depends on x at time 0. Suppose y at time 1 depends on x at also x at time 1. So this type of system, that means the present instant of output depends at the same instant of input. Then only we said that this system is a static or memoryless. So this is how we can check. Suppose if this is very easy. If any type of this type of equation will be given to you, then you can check by putting the integer value 0, 1, minus 1 and check it. For example, another system, for example, whether the system, verify whether the system is static or dynamic. Suppose Yn is equal to a x n square. So Yn is equal to, Yn is the input, and now it depends on the how this output is depending on the input, that is a x n square. So for example y of, so then we have to check. So for example if I put y2, then a x4. So you can see here the output at time 2 depends on the future value of input. That means obviously output is at 2, but it is depending on the input at 4. So there is a time mismatch. That means here the output depends on the future value of input. So that's why this system is a example of dynamic system. So if your output depends on the future or past value of input, then that system is known as your dynamic, or we can say that is a memory based system. That is a memory, that system having some memory. That's why it will able to remember, it will be able to store the past value of the input. So obviously this is not a static system, not a static system. Why it is not a static system? Because here the output, you can see here, output depends on the future value of input. So that's how, if at all they give you a equation like this, then you can verify whether the system is a static or dynamic system. Then I will write a definition of a dynamic system. So any system which is not static, obviously that means, otherwise it is known as a dynamic system. So dynamic system, dynamic system having some memory, dynamic system. Here the output yn depends on the future and past value of input xn. So output yn depends on the future and past value of input xn. That's why this system is known as dynamic system. So this is very easy. If the output at any instant of time depends only on the present value of input, then that system is a static or memoryless system. If the output depends on the future as well as past value of the input, then that is known as a dynamic system. So example, suppose yn is equal to xn into x of n minus 1. We can write here, that is xn minus x of n minus 1. So how to check? Just put y of 0, then at here we can put y of 0. So same x of 0 into x of minus 1. So we can see here the output at 0 depends on the past value of input, that is x of minus 1. Here the output 0 depends on the past value of input x of minus 1. So just you have to put the integer value and check. So if it depends on the past and future value, then it is known as a dynamic system. So next system we will study about, that is your causal and non-causal system. Then we will see about the causal system. So as the definition here written, this is also a very important system, causal and non-causal. The causal system is if the output depends on the present as well as the past inputs, depends on present value and past value of input, but not on the future value of input, then that system is known as a causal system. So that's the definition here I have written. A system is said to be causal if at any time n, any time means at any time instant n, depends on the present and past input. At any time n depends on the present and past input, but doesn't depends on the future input. The future value of input, it depends, then that system is causal system. If it depends on the future value of input, that just now we have I will give you an example how how the response of the system depends on the future value of input. If at all it depends on the future value of input, then that system is known as non-causal system. As long as it depends on the only on the present and past value of input, the output is depending, then that system is known as causal system. So how to write this mathematically? So this is very, very important. So mathematically you have to understand also the definition. So how to write this? Suppose the output yn. So mathematically yn is a function of x of n minus 1, x of n minus 2, like that. So that's how it depends. Yn is a function of x of n minus 1, x of n minus 2, like that. So you can see here the output, you have to just see here the output time, here output time n, that depends on the present value of input, that is xn, also the past value n minus 1, n minus 2, then only the system is a causal system. So example, y of n is equal to x of n, suppose into x of n minus 1. So if you put any value, we can check here. So y of suppose 0, that is equal to x of 0 into x of minus 1. So you can check here. So if I put the value as 0, it depends only on x of 0 and x of minus 1. So for example, if I take it as y of minus 1, if I put y of minus 1, if I take n value as minus 1, I want to check how it depends on. So x of also minus 1 and into x of this is minus 2. So always this output at any instant depends on the past value of input as well as the present value of input. Any condition, if it is written as if it only depends on present input or only depends on past inputs, then only the system is also a causal system. If it depends on the future value of input, then the system is known as your non-causal system. So that I will write the next definition. So in the examination, we have to write the definition and also write one example of each system. So non-causal system. Non-causal system. So obviously output depends on future value of input. Output depends on future value of input. That system is known as your non-causal system. So this is known as your non-causal system when output depends on future value of input. So example, yn is equal to x of 2n. So yn is equal to x of 2n. So the moment we can see here the system perform a scaling operation. So when how I got x of 2n, because this system produces the output. So output yn is equal to x of 2n. That means it performs a scaling operation. So here the system performs a scaling operation. So now we can check. So if y of 0, that means it depends on the present value x of 0, that will be okay. Then if I put y of 1, x of 2. So you can see here output at time instant 1 depends on the future value of input, that is at time 2. Hence this type of system is known as your non-causal system. So that's it. In the next class, or this system is also known as anticipatory system. It can anticipate. Anticipatory system or non-causal system. So in the next class we will study about the remaining system, that is your very important system, that is linear and non-linear. Then we will study about time invariant, time variant, stable, unstable, and FIR, IIR system. So that's it. So the system, depending on the characteristics and application and certain performance, we classify the system into 6 category. First one is your dynamic and static system. So dynamic, or we can say that a memory based system or memory less system is also known as static system. Then we have causal and non-causal. In causal system, the output depends only on the present and past value of input, but in non-causal the output depends on future value of input. That's why this system is classified as non-causal system. Then you have time invariant and time variant, linear and non-linear, stable and unstable, and FIR and IIR system. That we will study in the next class. So thank you.